It's Dana again. Welcome to Added Beauty. So today I want to talk to you about supplements. You heard of the saying better life through pharmacy? I agree and I disagree. Like, I don't think it has to be a whole bunch of prescription things, although I do recommend taking your prescriptions as prescribed if, you know, your doctor has prescribed it and you've done your research and you feel like that's correct. I'm not giving you any medical advice. Just that disclaimer. Even though I'm a nurse, I'm not giving you medical advice. However, I do recommend that you determine for yourself, um, advocate for yourself what works best for you, and work in concert with your doctor or your provider about what that looks like. So again, that's a lot of what I'm studying in my doctoral program, which is on whole health leadership. Sorry, I got hair on my face, and I'm not used to bangs, but it's, your doctor's going to tell you what they think is right, and sometimes you're saying it very fast so they can move on to the next person, and you may not have all your questions answered. And you should make sure that you do get your questions answered, and you should also do your own research. And you can ask more questions after, either via email. Some of the systems, the EHRs, you can text and ask questions or give information. And I'm seeing a lot of good health tech things out to help kind of bridge the communication gap, although there still really is a big one. But supplements. So a lot of times, you'll find out from your lab work or just from what your body is telling you when you're listening that you're missing some vital nutrients, or you just want to have more nutrition. You want to feel like you're covering yourself with like a multivitamin or whatever it is, especially different times in your life, right? You use prenatal vitamins when you're pregnant. A lot of vitamins now are a little different for different age groups. So when you get to midlife and above, some of the ingredients change. Like, for example, for women, a lot of times once you get into menopause and beyond, for whatever reason, they put less iron in your multivitamin. And, that may or may not be okay for you depending on where you are in your life. So like for me, I was always a quart low. That was my joke. I was always a little bit anemic because I had, heavy cycles and, like heavy cycles. And, I couldn't even get blood and I wanted to, because I was kind of always on that borderline. And so, I took iron. I tried to be mindful about what I ate to get iron, dark leafy greens, orange and red vegetables and fruits, like, sweet potatoes and all the different things like that. Sweet potatoes are good for a lot of things. But, or yams, depending on who you are. But you may still find like you need some supplements. So for me personally, as I've said, I'm working on my blood sugar. And I think as a result of menopause hormones, my cholesterol is a little bit higher than it's ever been in my life. I've never had a problem with cholesterol. And then the last time I went to the doctor, my cholesterol was up a little bit. And I'm like, what in the world is that? Because I'm mindful of what I eat. I'm not perfect, but I'm not busy, eating a bunch of fries or greasy food or, heavy processed things. Sometimes a little bit, but not much at all. Mostly organic, mostly portion controlled, very thoughtful about these things because I know, that I'm trying what I'm trying to achieve for myself. And so, I was kind of like, well, I don't want to get on a statin if I can help it, because that has its own set of side effects for a lot of people. And so I bought this one. And I have yet to find out whether it is working or not. But this is what I bought. And I liked it because, as you can see, it's sugar-free. So that wouldn't conflict with my other goal of trying to not overdo the sweets and keep my blood sugar in check. So this does taste sweet though. You take 2 of these a day and it actually tastes kind of good. And so you have to be, mindful and not eat more than 2. And the bottle says don't eat more than 2. I think they know that. People go, oh, this tastes pretty good. I can pop these because they're gummies. But no, not more than 2 a day. And we'll see if this works. I would like to, like I said, avoid the statins. This one, it says it's made with plant sterols and bergamot orange. And that's the other thing I would say. Oh, and red yeast rice and CoQ10. So I like to find, again, like I eat organic. I try to keep it the same with my vitamins and supplements too. So this one is all plant-based. So that was the one I tried for cholesterol. If you got a better idea, let me know. Along with the blood sugar situation, apple cider vinegar is good for a few things, right? And again, I went for organic and natural. I really like this brand, Garden of Life. I bought several different supplements from them. I think this is the brand that Alicia Silverstone used to own part of and or rep a while ago. I'm not sure if she still owns it, but it's very organic, very much food-based. Like everything is fruit blends, vegetable blends, different things like that, and of course the vinegar to make that happen. And these, you only need 1 gummy. I tried the Goalies and I like the taste of them. You need 2 of the Goalies per serving, and this one is just 1. So that worked out for me, and I'm also price conscious, so I was looking to see how many servings this is. So this was a 2-month jar for the price probably roughly of a 1-month jar, a little bit more than of a 1-month jar of the Goalies. So I do that. B12s or B complex, I use, again, the Garden of Life version. And it has other things in it too. It's not all B. And then it also mostly comes from fruits and vegetables and herbal combinations. So I like that. And then, let's see, my multivitamin, different company, New Chapter. So I looked at the Garden of Nature brand for the multivitamin, and I would have had to take 2 or 3, I think, to get the full dose. And here I just take 1, so I like that better. Also organic, everything in it. And as you can see, this is for a woman of a certain age. They have ones that are, I think, even 50 or 55 and older. I'm not quite 55 yet, don't rush me. I think it's 50 and older, but like I said, that one had less iron and a couple, and I think you also had to take 2, and this is a take 1. So again, that's my reason. And I don't have the same heavy period situation anymore because I had a hysterectomy, but I do still need to take some iron. And it's still good for like growing your hair and other things like that too. So that's some of the basics. Then I do take a D3 because most of us, sometimes especially Black women, we may not get enough vitamin D. And so this one I like because it's just a little teeny thing. It's like a little gel cap, see, real small. And it's easy to pop those. I also think sometimes, and this is a low dose for me. This is more like a maintenance dose, as you can see. But it adds to, kind of potentiates whatever other vitamin D I'm getting in some of these other things to make sure I hit my full dose. So that works. And then for calm, for pain and different things, I got a couple of other things. So I have, surprise, Garden of Life, turmeric. And so for inflammation, for pain, it has some ginger, it has some black pepper, some probiotics for digestion. And I like the idea of the turmeric. You can also put turmeric, of course, on your food, which can taste good, add some color, and you don't have to take it as a supplement. A lot of these things, of course, the ideal way to get it is through your actual diet. Like, what did you eat in the day? Does your plate have, um, you know, at least half of the plate is the good stuff, right? The fruits, the vegetables, a salad, whatever, and maybe a quarter of your plate is the starch and a quarter of your plate is the meat or fish, is usually at least going to be somewhat balanced, right? And then if you can avoid more fried, more processed, of course, that helps too. And then let's see. So vitamin C, different brand, but I think, yeah, I have two things from this brand. Here's vitamin C that I'm using. You see it's a whole food, plant-based vitamin C and organic. Average size little capsule, not too bad. And from the same brand, I use or get for my kid, the magnesium too. And so you can imagine after a bit, like your little daily pill thing starts to have a number of things if you're doing all of this. So sometimes I'll alternate, like I might do the vitamin C today and the magnesium tomorrow, alternate a little bit because I still have some of all of those things in my multivitamin, but sometimes your multivitamin doesn't quite hit 100% for everything. And if you're not sure if your diet's hitting 100% for everything, then you may want to tinker with, some additional supplements like that. Of course, under, using your own good judgment and or talking to your provider to make sure that they think that it's not going to cause you any interactions. And I've been mindful of all of those things for myself. So one of the folks that works with me recommended this to me when I said, man, I'm having so many daggone hot flashes. Can you see it? I got this brand. And what I like about it is that it's drops, right? So just like one dropper full kind of a thing. I'm not going to do it now because I already did it for today. I'm still trying to figure out if this is, it's definitely not enough by itself for me. I think it helps. I stopped using it for a while and I did notice the difference. I think it helps, but I think maybe I need something a little stronger dose, maybe some more black cohosh or one of those combo things that helps for it. And then again, like I said, I'm waiting for my appointment with my GYN to talk about HRT. So, a lot of times women have been afraid to try the hormone replacement therapy, the HRT, because we're afraid that it was going to potentially set us up for cancer risk. However, it seems like some things have evolved over time, or the knowledge base about it has evolved over time. And now the doctors are saying that it does not set you up for cancer risk. Again, do your own research. But what I have seen so far is that it's a viable option. I don't feel nervous that it will, cause me that problem. And if it could help me to not break out in random sweats at the most inopportune times, then I'm going to try it because I want to be able to sleep better. I want to have less brain fog. I want to, all of the things, right? And when you put your makeup on or your moisturizer on and you want it to last for more than 5 minutes, I go through phases. Like sometimes it's not bad at all and you almost have none and you're like, yes, maybe it's done. And then it comes back and you're like, no, it's not. But yeah, sometimes I don't know if any of you other folks who've been through this can relate. It's like covers on, covers off, fan on, fan off, sweater on, sweater off, whatever it is. I'm hot, I'm cold now because now I sweated, now I have a cold sweat, now I'm cold, now I'm hot again. 100% do not recommend menopause. 100% do not recommend. Anyway, that's something I'm going to talk to God about when we get there. Like, really? what was this? What was this part about? And I know what Eve did, but what this part got to, anyway. So, I think you've caught the clue that, you know, my point of having this channel, Added Beauty, is to work on making life better for myself and for people that I care about and people that I don't know that what I care about too, and hope that, you know, we can find ways to make it go smoother, make it more pleasurable, make it more happy, more safe, more all the things. And but I've been pretty stressed, unlike a lot of us, right? We do a lot of things, we have a lot of responsibilities, and it seems like we do more going than we do chilling. And when my doctor started talking to me about my blood sugar, one of the main things that was a cause seems to be stress, because again, I'm trying to do a lot of the things right. And so I wanted to bring my cortisol levels down. So I was looking for something. I bought this. This guy, I didn't take it. Well, this is box number 2. I've had it before. But this is like a cortisol drops. I don't know if you can see kind of like what's in there, but it's got some good stuff. It's all herbal and natural things too. It's supposed to help manage your cortisol. And it's like, you know, the usual, no wheat, no this, no that, no that. And got it on Amazon. And so we'll see if that helps. One of the things also I tried, because you know, people suggest things and I'm like, I'll try it, I'll see. Sea moss. This one I like. This is another organic one. This one has soursop in it. And it also has like black seed oil and a few other things. Again, here's that. I bought this on Amazon too. This particular company has a few different formulations. One has the soursop, one doesn't. It may have something else. It has ashwagandha, various things. Also in a dropper. The things about the liquid ones, for one thing, it's nicer for folks who have trouble taking pills, but also a lot of times it might be more bioavailable, like it may absorb better and faster into your system than whatever has to go down through a pill and dissolve and, you know, fight with your stomach acid and see how that goes, versus it dissolving on your tongue and, you know, kind of getting absorbed right away. So that, you know, might be for you a difference between whether you like the drops or like the pills better. You know, some of the things that can happen with menopause can include dryness. I asked around just to find out what people thought worked well. I haven't opened it because I don't need it at this moment, but slippery elm bark, I was told, is a good one for a couple of things, including, I want to say digestion, but also to make you wetter. If you need these things as a menopause girly, check it out. Okay. So now let's talk about a fun, well, it's not really fun, but something to know. How about that? Like one of those, the more you know kind of moments, right? So, okay, so for example, these super greens, it's, you know, organic fruits, organic vegetables. You take 2 of these little tablets, and that gets you your fruits and vegetables for the day in case you didn't make it, you know, through your diet. Of course, diet first. But what I want to talk about is, this is an example of what you can find, like, again, I'll just use Amazon as an example. So you may see multiple, like, say, you know what kind of supplement you're looking for. So you go on Amazon and there's like 15 versions of whatever it is. Let's say cinnamon. And you're like, which one do I get? I don't know. Like, how do I know this one's better than the other one? Blah, blah. Okay, so for me, one of the first things I do to narrow down is I go for organic all the time. If I can find it, if it exists as organic, I'd rather do that. But then you want to look at like dosages and combinations and different things. And of course, look at price too. So one of the things I found in my investigation of all of these things when I was trying to purchase for myself is that, a lot of different things are white labeled, and different company sells their version of the superfood greens, or their version of the sea moss drops, or their version of whatever it might be, their version of these. There's definitely another company that sells very similar to these. They're all at different price points, different labels, but when you look at the facts on the back, like what's actually in the supplement, they're identical. I mean, literally exactly identical. And then you find out, so it's coming from the same wholesale plant somewhere, right? The same manufacturer is manufacturing for you is manufacturing for you too. But it's white labeled for you. It's white labeled for you, so it looks like it's just a different product. And the prices will be pretty similar, but the prices will fluctuate, right? So say you put it in your basket and then you leave it there, save it for later, you didn't check out. When you come back in, you know how Amazon works, right? The price, they'll say, oh, your price has gone up or it's gone down or whatever. Sometimes they'll also wave at you and try to get you to buy it right away by making like a lightning deal, like a limited time, buy it now. So there's a big discount. So you go ahead and click the button and buy it now. But what you can find though is, like, say, I have bought this supplement before under a different label, this exact supplement on Amazon. Both times I bought them on Amazon, this one and the other one. But one may be on the first page, one may be on the second page, one may be on the third page. And the price may vary by $1 or $2. Usually it's going to be cheaper on the third page, right? Because they're probably not spending as much money on ads, and they're probably not getting as much foot traffic. So they're going to have to entice you some kind of way, so maybe it's a little cheaper. So if you're a person that wants to save $1 or $2, that might be a way to do it. So that was my little more you know moment. So yeah, I think I'm trying to do as much as I can without it being a prescribed medicine, although I do take one or two things. Like I have a good friend who said, instead of the metformin that somebody might prescribe, try berberine. And I'm going to look into that, because if I could take berberine instead of metformin, I'd rather do that. However, again, that's not medical advice for me. And I would have to go do my research and talk to my doctor and, look some more before I would decide to do that. But I know that it's interesting. My grandmother's passed now a long time ago. I lost both my grandparents when I was like in the 8th grade. And I had really great grandmothers. So it was awful that, I didn't get to have them longer, but I'm grateful for the time I did. But my grandmother really said something that stuck with me when I was a little girl. And you never know, like, what are the things that are going to stick with you or what's not. But she said, there's something in nature for everything. And, unless we as humans like extinct it, right? And the more I'm learning about, herbal medicine, Chinese medicine, East medicine versus West medicine, and all the different things, there really are a lot of things that can treat a lot of things naturally, if you choose to do that. And also, most importantly, a lot of what we're not doing is functional nutrition and treating our food like medicine. And so, if we are, when so many things taste so good that are not good for you, oh my gosh. I could eat a churro. I have a thing for sweets sometimes. I can control myself, but I know what I like. I like Queen Amands. If you've never had that, it's like a caramelized croissant. You need that in your life, at least once. But funnel cake, oh my gosh. A glazed donut, yes. And when I used to have a period, one chocolate chip cookie the day before I started my period. I don't know why. I would crave chocolate chip cookies and I would feel horny for a day, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna start my period. Anyway, just be open to looking into how you can help yourself so you don't need as many pills, you don't need as many surgeries. Uh, Maybe you don't even need as many supplements, although for me personally, I'd rather have supplements that are all plant-based, food-based, and non-synthetic if I could help it, if it serves the purpose well enough. And I think if you're just mindful of that, you can do pretty all right. But like anything else, you have to make sure that you don't have interactions with too many things. Sometimes one will potentiate the other one and make it, be doing too, end up doing too much. Or maybe one negates the other, who knows? So do your due diligence. And you can even sometimes your pharmacist, your regular pharmacist, wherever you go, CVS or whoever you go to, can sometimes talk to you about interactions with herbal things and your actual prescriptions. So that's an option too. But yeah, if you're gonna do it, I always say, look at quality control, because different countries have different standards. And sometimes the US standard is not the best one. Sometimes it is. But here lately, in the last year, let's say, some of the laws in this country in particular about regulation and oversight have changed. And that's true for things coming out of the FDA. That's true for, medications. That's true for supplements. That's true for oversight over whether people are even doing things organic for real, whether, how people are handling your food and pesticides and all of that, right? So now there's like 3 or 4 different pesticides more that can be used that they don't even have to disclose. So you have to do the best you can. You're not going to get perfect. Nobody's perfect with it. You just do the best you can and what you can afford, what you can live with. But definitely, I think supplements can be very healthy and helpful. I like it. I feel like the difference in energy and in hair, skin, nails, stress level. Some of the ones like the mushrooms, I've tried that. Sometimes not like the mushroom dosing, like the lion's mane and those kinds of things. And the ashwagandha, definitely. That and magnesium will put you to sleep. So see what you feel. Let me know what you try or what your regimen is. I'd love to know. Like if you've got an idea that's better, or you've got some brands that work for you better, please share. Let me know. And if you'd like to know any of those ones again, I can put it in the comments if you let me know. Okay. So anyway, some of these things will add, hopefully, to your life. Maybe you have a couple less creases and you feel a little more energy. Maybe your stress levels down a little bit, and that would add some beauty, right? So like, subscribe, come see me tomorrow. We'll talk about something else to help make your life better. Add some beauty. Have a good night.